Is Ruben Amorim's job at Manchester United about to become a nightmare? It certainly seems that way. I mean, it was already a daunting task from the moment he took the reins back in November. Amorim inherited a squad that was not only disjointed but filled with prima donnas from Erik ten Hag's tenure, and he desperately needed the green light to overhaul the team to his own image. Much anticipation surrounded his first transfer window, with fans hopeful for attacking reinforcements to address the persistent goal-scoring issues plaguing a United side still trapped in the bottom half of the Premier League table. However, fast forward to now, and United's transfer window undeniably feels like a major letdown. So, how have United messed up this transfer window for Amorim? United's relatively cautious approach during the January window, in which they signed just one senior level player, who himself is only 20 years old and a defender, stemmed from a desire to avoid the catastrophic overspending that has plagued the club for the last decade. Given the club's precarious financial position and commitment to complying with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, caution wasn't necessarily the wrong approach. However, in their determination to avoid the mistakes of the past, there's a real danger that they are now making mistakes of the present instead. Currently, United remain clear of the relegation zone and are unlikely to be drawn into a relegation battle with the likes of Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton. Yet, barring a miraculous recovery, the Red Devils probably won't come close to last season's 8th place finish either, which was already the club's worst in their Premier League history. As such, Amorim would be wise to prioritize winning the Europa League, as even more invaluable than major silverware would be the ticket to next season's Champions League and a potential financial boost upwards of £100 million. On paper, achieving glory in that competition seems plausible too, particularly with UEFA's new format no longer allowing early Champions League dropouts to enter the last 16 of the Europa League. Otherwise, reclaiming the FA Cup this season would secure Europa League football next season and the accompanying participation money. However, to make genuine strides towards those objectives, United desperately needed an experienced forward this January window. Instead, a combination of incompetence and hesitance to spend clouded their judgment, evidenced by the inquiries into only two striker targets, Christopher Nkunku and Mathys Tel, before ultimately passing on both, even when the latter was available for a £5 million loan fee with an obligation to buy in the summer. With Antony and Marcus Rashford now out on loan for the remainder of the season, it could free up around £1 million a month in wages. Additionally, there was concrete interest from clubs like Juventus in one of United's two underperforming strikers, Joshua Zirkzee. So why didn't they consider offloading Zirkzee or pursuing a quick and affordable fix up front? Opting not to invest in a striker might mean facing the prospect of being eliminated from both cup competitions and finishing mid-table. While this may preserve their financial stability, missing out on prize money would leave them short of funds for a squad overhaul in the summer. On the other hand, investing in a striker now, even on loan or with the funds they did spend on their two young defensive signings, would have significantly boosted their chances of success in these competitions. So, at what point does prudence become a hindrance? Signing an experienced striker should have been a calculated risk, a high-reward gamble that would demonstrate the board's faith in Amorim's abilities. Instead, it wasn't to be. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our future videos. So, who have United actually signed this window? The arrival of Patrick Dorgu could prove to be a savvy acquisition at just £25 million, with an additional £4 million in potential add-ons, with United having secured his signature ahead of several top clubs, including Chelsea, Liverpool, and Barcelona. The Danish international is an attack-minded fullback capable of playing on either flank and is versatile enough to step into midfield. While he may not be the high-profile signing fans had anticipated, he adds much-needed quality to United's wing-back positions and could be a key asset for Amorim in the long term. United's second and only other signing is a promising academy graduate from Arsenal, Aiden Heaven, who followed in the footsteps of Chido Obi Martin by moving to Old Trafford after rejecting a new contract with the Gunners. The 18-year-old defender possesses considerable potential, although he's not expected to compete for first-team minutes immediately. On one hand, it's encouraging that INEOS are building for the future. On the other, there's a palpable sense that their primary efforts should have been directed towards strengthening the front line, with the squad now down to just 4 attacking players. Amorim raised more than a few eyebrows when he started midfielder Kobbie Mainoo up front against Crystal Palace, an experiment that backfired completely. But at this point, you can't really blame him for trying something new. Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee were both named on the bench and brought on in the final 20 minutes in an attempt to salvage the game. Højlund has now gone 13 games across all competitions without scoring, while Zirkzee has just 1 goal to his name from his last 16 appearances. That simply isn't good enough. As a result, the goal-scoring burden for the remainder of the season will fall heavily on the shoulders of Amad Diallo and Alejandro Garnacho, and injury to either, particularly Amad, would be catastrophic for the team's attacking prospects. To watch our video on what exactly Amorim has changed at United, click the first link in the description or the card in the top right corner. Of course, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS will insist that United's quiet January transfer window was a necessity. Since acquiring a minority stake from the Glazer family, they have been aggressively cutting costs across all levels at Old Trafford, most notably by raising ticket prices, much to the dismay of fans. Britain's richest man has also strayed from the club's traditions by making academy products available for transfer in a bid to generate pure profit. This has included talents like Mainoo and Garnacho, both of whom attracted interest from Chelsea last month. But beyond that, United's squad remains cluttered with Deadwood players who are difficult to offload due to their exorbitant wages, an issue that, to be fair, largely predates INEOS's involvement. United did well to offload high-wage players like Rashford and Antony, albeit on loan. Yet, for all their shortcomings, it seemed illogical for United to part with both players without lining up replacements. Opting for loans rather than permanent deals to improve their bank balance could also prove counterproductive, as both players may end up returning to Old Trafford this summer with diminished market values. With fewer attacking options than they had at the start of January, United now face a formidable challenge to secure a spot in the league's top half. This transfer window once again underscores why Amorim preferred to take the job next summer, as he has since had to contend with unwanted records and a squad that significantly underperforms. And rather unfairly, a portion of the fanbase will now judge him against Ten Hag, despite him working with a team that is clearly weaker than under any of his predecessors. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more football news, stories, and insights. Also, don't forget to hit notifications so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.